Hey, how's it going, my RPA developers? Today I have an email for one of my students, and I would like to read it because I think that my response will help other developers who are in the same situation. Hi, Michael. I've been looking for an RPA role since last few months. I've shown an experience of 1 year on my CV because my previous position as a risk counsel consultant wouldn't let me join the RPA beginner level of RPA role. Also, I have overall 11.5 years of experience, great experience. Um, Even then, I'm willing to join as an RPA developer just to get enough experience before applying for RPA role, lead role. But even for RPA developer role, I'm facing issues. I will tell you my problems I am facing. One, I am being asked what documents I have to prepare as a developer and what are the documents I use for development. Can you please guide me here? I'm doing okay on subject and interviews, but I'm lacking in practical knowledge, which is stopping me from getting the developer job. Kindly guide. So, thank you for your email. And my response to that is, first of all, so you are going to interviews, and some of the interviews that they're asking you for some of the RPA development documentation, right? Um, and this is not a plug to my course or anything, but in the course, I go over what documentation you will likely get on any RPA development. And let me just explain that again. So, the documentation that you will get will be what's called a PDD, which is the process document design. Now, some people call it the SOP, some people call it other documentation. It doesn't matter, but basically, this is the documentation that you get from the client for their manual steps as is, current today, the steps that they follow. Now, what you as a developer will have to do is to take this document and come up with your solution design document, which is called the SDD. Now, you will create your solution design document and you will present it to the organization, to the business, and let them know, hey, this is the solution that I've developed. Another thing that I just want to kind of point out and throw out is whenever you go into these interviews, most of the people who you're interviewing, usually you'll be given two type of interviews. You'll be one would be like the background kind of interview, trying to see if you will be a good fit. They'll ask you, who you are, or some jobs you did in the past, basically just to fill out whether or not you're a good candidate to be part of their organization. And then you have the technical interview, which this is more technical details. Now you have to keep in mind that the people who interview you for the technical role, they don't come from the background of a human resource, so they're not there to kind of fill you out. They just want to know, can you perform technically? And with that being said, they just want to make sure that they can leave you with a process and you build a process end to end and be able to interact with the clients. So with that in mind, you just need to make sure that if you followed my course and the process that I went through in the course, then you will be fine. All they want to do is just see how you program some kind of process end to end, and they want to be able to kind of test your knowledge to see your thought process, see what it is that you've done, and why did you do it this way as opposed to doing another way. So you just have to be able to explain that. Like, don't get caught up in the little details that they tell you, oh, we need you to tell us about a document. At the end of the day, if you can show them, hey, this is the end-to-end process that I've done in the past. This is my experience. I've worked with the client. I've got some kind of documentation from the client, whether you call it the the PDD or the SOP, whatever, it doesn't matter. Just show that you have gotten that documentation from the client. You've taken that document, you've created your own solution design, you presented it to the client, got their approval, their write-off for the solution, and then you've implemented this process, this solution that you just come up with. Now you have to be able to explain that. And now they may the interviewer may ask you, okay, why did you use a queue as opposed to doing it this way, or why did you do it this way, or why did you use a database, or why whatever. If you've done it, if you've taken a hands-on approach and you've done it, you know exactly why you did it. And there's no really wrong or right thing. As long as you're following the best practices, there's no really wrong or right thing. All you need to make sure that you are following the best practices as RPA, whichever tool you're using, whether it's Blue Prism or UiPath. Make sure you're following the best practices, and then be able to explain why you chose the decisions that you did. Just be able to explain that, and you will be good. And that's my suggestion for any interview. Be confident, go in, your confidence comes from your hands-on experience. There's no shortcut around it. You can't get through in an interview based on what I'm telling you or based on what someone else is telling you. You have to have the hands-on experience. You have to. There's no way around it, because what's going to happen is you're going to get into the interview, you're going to get into the job, and you're going to be thrown to the wolves, and then you're going to be, out of luck because you don't really know what to do. So I encourage you to get the hands-on experience so you can be confident when you go into the interview, and you can be able to explain anything or answer any question that they have. I hope this helped you. I hope this helped others. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm going to leave my email below. If you would like me to answer any of your other questions, or anyone else has any questions, send me an email and I will respond to your emails via a video. Please like and subscribe. I'm just trying to get my YouTube channel up, so I greatly appreciate it if you like and subscribe to my page. And also, we have a WhatsApp chat group that's very helpful. A lot of people have, shown other people that their company is hiring, and like this, we're trying to build a RPA community. Now, I know we have different Blue Prism communities, UiPath, but we're trying to build our own community to where developers, if you have any questions or you're just getting started, if you need help with a resume, you need help with a job or whatever like that, we're trying to build that community so that we can collaborate and help each other out. So if you're interested in joining the WhatsApp group, send me an email. Again, I'll put my email below. And again, thanks for watching, subscribe, like, and hope to see you next time. Thanks.